Florida Congressman Michael Waltz joins us now. Congressman, your reaction to this collective White House response from the mind-numbing statement by KJP to literally the President of the United States laughing?
Yeah, well, at least the American people that I'm talking to, I would relay this to the president and KJP. What they also care about is what they're seeing unfold before their eyes, which is a two-tiered, unfair justice system. We are going to get to the bottom of several key things. One, I'm still dying to know why $1,000 an hour high-priced attorneys were cleaning out Biden's office in the first place after 5 years of those documents sitting there. So what drove that? And there's a lot of talk. Was it subpoenas from the Hunter Biden investigation that suddenly turned these lawyers into a cleaning crew to start combing through every document? So what happened there? I know from my time in the White House years ago that there are logs and there's a tracking system for top secret, especially top secret compartmented information that goes to the president and the vice president. We should be requesting those. And I suspect you'll see Jim Jordan doing that very quickly. And I wanted to see a damage assessment from the intelligence community on exactly what these documents were and what sources and methods it exposed. I think those are reasonable requests, and the White House is not going to be able to dodge this issue.
What about this report, Congressman, that the DOJ thought about having FBI agents oversee the document search, but then decided against it? Why? Because,
I guess in the Democrats' world, we're supposed to just accept the word of Biden's personal attorney. So the left is making much of, well, it was only 20 documents. Well, how do we know that? I guess we have to take that at face value now. And the White House was too nervous to have a federal agent at least alongside the attorneys, because remember, anything else they see that could be construed as criminal activity as they're looking for these top secret documents while the attorneys have no clearances at all. But anything that the Bureau sees could also be constituted as a potential crime. So they decided not to have them there at all. And the rest of the world and Americans have to just take Biden's attorneys at face value.
You mentioned something that I found very, very intriguing, and I want to add a little clarification to it. You mentioned the folks that are doing this document review are folks that are making $1,000 an hour. And I think that's a crucial point because just based upon my practice of law, the guys making four figures an hour, they're not the ones that ever go into the documents. They're the ones that get to sit in their offices, and other people below them go into the documents. So I think that highlights the unique and odd nature of all of this. And I think it also gets to this, why they're getting that ethics complaint over there at the White House. It says the following, and I read as quote, if the White House compounded a scandal involving possible mishandling of classified documents by improperly using taxpayer resources for his personal benefit and putting White House attorneys in positions that created conflicts of interest, we could be witnessing a serious betrayal of the public's already plummeting trust. So, Michael, Congressman, how much trouble could the White House, Joe Biden, and these attorneys be in?
Well, we're not seeing, it's a great point. We're not seeing any firewalls between all of the attorneys in the White House counsel that the taxpayers are paying for. And then these, $1,000, $1,200 an hour, high priced blue blood attorneys that I guess, to your point, are now being turned into legal clerks combing through boxes and garages. We're not seeing any appropriate firewall between what's representing him personally and personal misconduct that he may have conducted in the years between his vice presidency and presidency, and then now as president, and that's an abuse of taxpayer dollars.
There's also this situation that we want to get your reaction on. There's an Afghan National Security Force member. His name is Abdul Wasi Safi, and he crossed into the United States illegally because he knew that if he stayed in Afghanistan, he would be hunted by the Taliban, and he's trying to make an asylum claim, but he's actually being detained at a Texas detention facility. The Pentagon now dodging questions about that. Take a listen to this.
this case is specifically regarding Abdul Wasi Safi. He's a former Afghan commando. Is the defense secretary aware of this case?
We've seen these press reports, but I don't have anything further to provide.
So he doesn't have anything further to provide, Congressman, but there are tens of thousands of people who claim asylum every single month that are released into this country. It seems like he has a legitimate asylum claim, and yet he's being detained. What's your response to this?
You know, the veterans community, so many of whom have exhausted their savings. I talked to one who exhausted his children's 529 plans to help get these people out. They are so outraged by this. The outrage is that, amongst other things, 80 to 90 other migrants that were with him, they were all released into the interior of the United States, and he's being held, the guy who was willing to fight and die for us. And what's so frustrating to hear that from the Pentagon is that supposedly the Bureau sat him aside because he's from Afghanistan, a high-risk country, just to make sure that he wasn't a terrorist. Well, the Pentagon could pick up the phone, let the FBI or DHS or CBP know that. And apparently, I just spoke with someone who visited him. He was beaten by.
Yeah, Congressman, we got to leave it there.